Hi there guys, I'm here to review the movie The Incredibles because the new one's just come out in America and it doesn't come out over here until like July. Like, it's not fair. But I'll review this because this is a very good movie. So basically it starts off, it's like in the 1950s, and we have this superhero named Mr. Incredible, also known as Bob Parr. And he gets married to another superhero called Elastigirl, or Helen, and basically, like, the superheroes get banned because they make a lot of damage when they're saving people. But and I felt like really kind of bad for them because, like, I was on his side completely. Like, hey, I saved your life, you should be thankful, So then they have a family, when they're like hiding, when their secret identity is their only identity, and their kids have superpowers as well. But they've never lived in a time where superheroes weren't illegal. So and Bob and his friend Frozone, or Lucius, they go out and like save people without their wives knowing. And then when Bob gets fired from his job, he gets asked by a woman named Mirage to like do some more superhero work for them. And turns out like it's ruled by this guy named Syndrome, who wants to kill like superheroes, and like he's built like things so that he can pretend to be a superhero. And and also I forgot to mention, like, at the beginning of the movie, he's like, when he's a kid, and he wants to be Mr. Incredible's sidekick called Incrediboy, and Mr. Incredible turns him down. He says, "I work alone," and I mean, it's really quite scary, because he's the one who created him, and he does say, he tells him he's sorry for treating him that way, but he won't accept it. So he tries to kill all like the superheroes so he can become a superhero himself, or pretend to be, because he hasn't actually got any superpowers. And like, this is one of my favourite movies from my childhood. I loved it as a kid, and I think it really holds up well. And it's getting a sequel finally, and I mean, it's a great like tribute to like 50s and 60s movies, and it's like 50s and 60s, but like kind of futuristic. It's kind of like if the 60s went on forever, like if like their technology got better than it was then. Like, I mean, and I think it really does live up to its name. This movie really is incredible. I mean, like, the action scenes, for an animated film are just spectacular, and I think the voice actors are great. Like, I love Craig T. Nelson as Mr. Incredible, and Holly Hunter as his wife, Elastigirl, is great, and Frozone, played by Samuel L. Jackson, he's so great. And here we have, this is Edna Mode, who creates the all the superhero costumes and stuff, and she's voiced by Brad Bird, the director. And they originally got another actress to do the voice, but she because in animated films a lot of the time they don't actually have the same actors in the recording booth at the same time. So like Brad Bird, sometimes when he was directing the other actors, he'd act out the other parts for them. So he did Edna's lines, and the woman who was originally gonna do Edna, she refused to do it because she thought that Brad's voice as Edna was so great. I mean. And I mean, this is I think this is probably the first time they had like, they look like, it's CGI, but they look like cartoon characters, because mostly like Pixar films, you know, mostly focused on like non-humans. Like if you think like Toy Story on toys and Finding Nemo about fish and stuff, because they were like easier to animate. And you know, this is the first one where they look that like where humans are the main characters, and also like the first time like humans look like cartoon characters in CGI. I mean, if you think like the Shrek movies have a lot of humans in them, but like they look quite, you know, realistic, you know, except for like Rumpelstiltskin in Shrek Forever After, you know. I mean, well, I don't think he's a human actually, but you know, Shrek and Donkey, like, you know, and the ogres, they look cartoony, but not like the humans, you know. But yeah, I think the animation is great. I mean, even though the animation's kind of starting to show its age now, you know, like it was great for the time, and you know, and even though the animation's starting to show its age, you know, the film is still, you know, phenomenal. I mean, I thought like Syndrome as well was like a great villain. I mean, because I mean he is kind of pathetic, and you know, but I mean he's great. I mean, and I love the idea like, you know, like Mr. Incredible created his own enemy because you know, he wanted to be Syndrome wanted to be Mr. Incredible's sidekick, but then because he didn't want to work with him, he decided he'd become Mr. Incredible's nemesis. I mean, I think that's such a great idea, and I think, you know, Brad Bird, he's a genius. I mean, you know, he started off working on like The Simpsons and stuff, and you can tell because I mean, he's great, you know, family stuff like The Simpsons, and like a lot of the like it's got a lot of Simpsons type humor in this actually. Yeah, I mean, I like. It's been so long since like the first one, and you know they're just getting a sequel now. I'm here. I mean, I used to love this as a kid. I mean, why? Like, I kind of think like, why couldn't they have made another Incredibles movie when I was younger? You know, I mean. But yeah, still really looking forward to the new one. Oh yeah, and there's like in the new one they're like doing more about like the baby's powers, like I can see from the trailer, and on the second disc of this, you know, they have the second disc. Yeah, it has like a short called Jack Attack, which like is where like in between the movie when the babysitter comes, and you know, we see like Jack's powers and stuff, and you know they didn't know until like the end of this movie that he had powers, and yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing that in the new one, you know, exploring more of his powers. So yeah, really just great, phenomenal film. Check it out if you haven't already for some reason, and yeah, bye.